Ladies and gentlemen, to the mandatory GG Ignition series. I'm Lee Demon Smith, joining you for the first time today, and obviously HYPERX took you through the last map. And HYPERX, we're moving on to Haven now. Do we see anything in the playstyle from the Dreamchasers that can basically just dislodge G2's dominance? Bearing in mind, this is their map choice now.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I will say is we haven't seen G2 kind of go for this brawl play style that we've been used to seeing them be very punishing with, I'll be honest, versus a lot of teams. I was happy to see Dreamchasers didn't kind of try and play them at that game, and G2 looked a lot more, I guess, refined, if you want to say. You could just say that they were playing a lot more defensively and passively, but they looked a lot more refined, much better coordinated on the defensive half. It was only really David P we saw flexing out and getting that early information, which they got a lot of value for because he was just getting kills left, right, and center. But I guess you could say Haven is a very similar map to Ascent in the way that, you know, the first blood kind of factor is huge. The man advantage becomes a massive factor in a lot of these rounds, and that just comes down to the rotation time. It's 3 sites. It goes without saying. B's usually left open, but I mean, if the A push comes through, it's a long time. You have to commit to playing retake. It's not as if you can get 2 people in there if you don't get early information to stop a push there. Yeah, I mean, we saw it with started from CS, right? Yesterday they played. Yeah. It was a tough match for them in that game against Force. Force, of course, did fall out in the end, 12-14 to NIP in the last round of the night. Quick updates on some of the scores that are going on. Obviously, we know G2 are up 1-0 here as we move on to Haven, which, yes, it is a pretty balanced map overall. Strong map for G2, that's for sure. Other games that are going on, obviously NIP, they have taken the first map 13-11, so a tight game over there. BBL, though, 13-4 over TBD. Don't know what map that was on, but that's a surprising big score for me over a team that did well last night. And as well, Bonk. They took game 1, 13-5, and that's again, I know a lot of people in chat have been asking to follow on with Bonk. Obviously, first opportunity we get, we will be catching up with them. But I mean, a couple of scorelines even this late into the event where there's still some strong performances. The NIP one concerns me a little bit because I know the guys on that roster have kind of alluded to, we were a bit rough in the first few weeks, but we've been scrimming a lot now and we're bringing our A game. So surprising to see that one almost go to overtime, to be honest with you, Lee. Yeah. I mean, the fact they went overtime last night, they went kind of long in the first few games. It took them a while to get going. They're certainly not looking anywhere near as dominant as, say, G2, who, we're looking at teams to challenge them, and NIP were one of those teams. So I'm wondering whether they can step it up. Of course, let's not underestimate those guys because they ripped through Zarplata 13-1, and Zarplata are not a bad team. But again, it was on Ascent. It's a map that can have polaring scorelines, which is why I don't want to read too much into what we just saw from Dreamchasers and G2. Now, it can be one of those maps that if you can get set up and rolling, you can just run away with it. Yeah, and again, I guess at a pro level, we do see kind of the element of it being a bit more defensive-sided, which again, it's always an open debate. It's subjective. You can say what you like about some maps, but I think Ascent, it's pretty safe to say, at a pro level, we do see it more often than not go kind of like a 66-33 split in terms of rounds on the defensive half. But again, it all depends on the team. Play style is a big factor, and these teams that do like to kind of prioritize mid control on both attack and defense in a sense sometimes can just fall apart because they never get close to a site. They end up trading 1-for-1 in mid, and there's no real value off it. Do we expect to see any agent changes as we move on to this one from either of the teams? I mean, obviously we had Jet, Sova, Cypher, Sage, and Omen for both. Well, for G2, and then obviously we saw Dreamchasers using the Raze. So so it's pretty much the same. It's the exact same. Exact same agents. It's this double duelist thing that again, me and Lauren talked about it very briefly, but I'm not sure of the logic behind that. Usually when we see kind of 2 duelists run, it's a Phoenix. It's never the Jet and Raze, to be honest with you. And again, on Haven, I'm not sure what the logic. I mean, if they can make it work, then to each their own. It's what I know Noel Penke certainly run. It's pretty much the same setup that Noel Penke run with Loudly on
either the breach or the raise. And obviously, Vax always been on the jet.
Yeah.
So it's we'll see whether it works out. Obviously, with the Omen in there as well. But here we go into the pistol. Dreamchasers are on the defensive side, and G2 once again. You talked about it before, getting that first blood. Aaron goes down in the pistol, and I feel this is a pistol that Dreamchasers really want to lock down if they want to have a chance at taking this to a third map.
Yeah, and G2 going to get themselves the entry onto C pretty easily. King Cobra going to sit
free real estate, mate. That one.
Yeah, I mean it's there for the picking.
And look at this. Look at
this
Pitt.
is a tough retake. Yeah, Pitt being tucked all the way into spawn here is going to be a huge factor if he can catch a kill or two.
Well, we're going to see the kill feed light up. It does mean that Pitt will go down. Emilio was the one that caught him out, but it's quickly traded by David P. Down long as he makes the push down. Now they can try and push through double doors. Patitech's going to manage to find the one round the corner. Rocket launcher doing what he can, but he will be taken down. And David P once again on site, picking himself up a hat trick. And unfortunately, the pistol will go to G2, which really puts the pressure onto Dreamchasers on the defensive side. You really want to get that economy bustling as quick as you can to have a chance on Haven, because it's one of those maps that will stretch you defensively. And G2 are certainly a team that are going to do that. Well, by the way, when's David P going to change his name? Let's come on.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah,
where's the tag, man? Where's the tag?
Well, if he's still on the Riot ID cooldown, you can only change I think once every 60 days or something like that.
That's it. Yeah, something like that.
Do you see Dreamchasers with a little bit of investment back here? I saw a couple of ghosts and obviously the shorty in the hand of King Cobra. He's actually going to get double revealed by the Recon and the Owl Drone, but we'll find Mixwell on the way in. So first blood goes in favor of Dreamchasers, and he's trying to retrieve that weapon, but Ardis wise to it.
Making sure they don't run headlong into the shorty. It's a wise choice. Pitt being the man that's going looking for opportunities down short. Everybody else hitting default, holding back the angles, making sure they don't get pushed through window while Pitt goes inquiring. Meanwhile, Ardis was actually lingering around long, and the fact that he's just backed away and King Cobra's kind of pushed through it, might try and go around for the wrap around the backstab. It will be Pitt will find Emilio, and that's going to open the A sides up.
Yeah, nobody else here to stop the push coming through. You can see a rotation coming through the defensive spawn already. He can get himself onto site, but Pitt there to find a second on the round. And the A site will fall. Spike will be planted. So, again, a tall order here on the eco round. 3v4 retake. One player down low, but I'm expecting Pitt's going to get a heal eventually here from David. I'm assuming it's just on cooldown, but
I mean, they may as well go for it because they're going to try and
just do some damage.
They can take away the bonus weapons that if they leave these 4 G2 members up, then they can just carry those weapons through to the next round without really worrying about their economy. It's going to be Aaron that will be found out, and the second one will push through. The shorty at that range is not going to be too effective, and Ardis will find the last man up in heaven fairly simply. And they're going to carry 4 weapons through into the first rifle round. May as well just keep hold of those Spectres, keep the bonus. They did, of course, have the Phantom and the Vandal already. So already a dangerous approach from G2. But now, with the defensive setup, they have the weapons. Not the greatest of armor. You can see it's only a half push because they've had to try and stack the utility. This is going to be a push through mid. It's a boosted push, is it? Is he going straight for the slow?
Yeah, slow. I think they're gonna slow and paint shell the window. David P actually gonna get caught bouncing off.
C's are open. Look, they've stacked for this, and C is wide open. They've just rushed straight in, so they've stacked for the play. But it gives them up the site. Shrouded Step comes out. He gets in position immediately, and well, Rocket Launcher's trying to hang the angle around the Cloudburst. Not going to work out. Mixwell ready and waiting for it. Oh, Pat way close, and King Cobra suddenly gets himself a quick double. Now they're pushing on site. Ardis is still there. Hasn't managed to get the spike down, and now in a 3v1, it's all on Ardis here. Still only the Spectre really could do with trying to find a better weapon. They're going to try and double peek him, and he manages to line them both up. Sees the last there. Emilio will shut him down, but a tight round. In terms of economy, G2 could just buy right back into it. It's actually going to be Dreamchasers that are going to hurt more.
Yeah, a lot of damage done in terms of equipment for Dreamchasers there. I mean, AORUS is extremely unlucky not to find a third as well on the same angle. I mean, the first two line up for him.
Expect a triple peak.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Remember the dog pick, like, the other one must be coming from the right. Wait, he's not.
But I mean, again, G2 just reacting so quickly off that information. The mid push comes through, David P falls, they instantly take C long. And that's what I love seeing G2 do. David's going to eat a lot of damage from that paint shell. Pat will find one kill down in the sewers here, and Mixwell's got the Blade Storm out. And they might try and get aggressive here after the entry on A or play off the back of the rotation.
Quick dash away, tailwind out of it, taking the damage there, but
Revealing area.
again, that initial opening does go to G2. Oh, Showstopper coming through. AORUS manages to avoid the damage. Hop, skip, and a jump. It actually connected onto the wall there. Aaron gets himself Patty Tech down, and managed to get AORUS down. That was the spike plant. Didn't get it down in time. And a triple as he picks off Mixwell. Huge plays from Aaron here. And that just leaves the one man tucking in the side. Not going to be doing anything with it, Pitt. I think he's just going to have to sit and save.
Yeah, and that one getting flipped back on its head. And I mean, again, does he opt to try and do a little more damage here? You can see the barrel of the weapon here. Does he expect King Cobra to be holding close here? Good discipline from Dreamchasers here. Not giving anything away. They know how damage it is. Going to be more worth for Pitt to come in and damage their economy than it is the other way around. But like I said, didn't expect King Cobra to be holding close, I guess, after seeing rocket launcher's weapon barrel further back on site. And that's going to be a little bit of breathing space for Dreamchasers. You can see now G2 are going to have the opportunity to force a couple of weapons back in here. I mean, David P's going to be able to buy next round if he forces this light armor and the Phantom.
I just feel that rocket launchers should be playing Raze. it's like your name's rocket launcher.
Yeah.
I mean, hello.
just for the kill feed memes.
King Cobra is going to be the one that will toss the paint shells through double doors. That forces G2 to sidestep it a little bit. And Pitt going down early. That was a push on short that worked out. They're just going to pile straight through, but it is going to be an eco bash. And King Cobra's ready and waiting for this one to try and clean up at double doors, but he's kind of blind in this one. And actually, it's starting to get costly for them with Emilio getting cut off. Patty Tax managed to find himself a weapon, but Aaron stands tall. Does enough damage. May well actually want to get the eco res off as well to collect and carry a weapon through as David P goes looking for a 1v2.
Just juggling the Phantoms is going to get them close enough, I think, to try and revive somebody. I mean, they're going to hear this from a mile off. You can see King Cobra going to try and blast back off the door, but caught up in the slow orb now.
Is he going to get one?
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth at this point.
Oh, no, he's going to wall it. Okay, the wall and res, and he gets Mixwell back up, and don't forget that's going to be a weapon, and a really nice wall bang from King Cobra, but David P took that down and gets it back to a 2-on-1. Paint shells, look at this. King Cobra's just going to dunk them on his head. Doesn't matter. Aaron finds him. All right. This is what we're talking about. They needed the weapons. They needed to get that round. Yes, it went to a 1-on-1 in the previous round. Both Resurrects used. Now we have a game on our hands.
Yeah, and obviously G2 going to buy back into this one. And, I mean, everybody except... I mean, Aaron's got the light armor, but everybody's going to be decked out, and I guess other than the ultimates invested there, not a lot of utility expended. It came down to just a couple of scrappy gunfights. Emilio going to have the operator in hand. Looks like he's going to swing out A long, and it's a heavy stack from G2 over towards A, so hopefully they don't lose anybody early here. Okay.
Misses the shot on Pitt. That was the one he needed. It was a wide peak from Pitt, so nicely played by him. As they step on through, they're going to be rushing on site. So it's going to be the man that's pressured. Aaron's already rotated over here, so Aaron's in position as well to try and block them off. And you can see Rocket Launcher. Sorry, not Rocket Launcher. It should be called Rocket Launcher. It's King Cobra going up in heaven. See, he's just dropped down. Our drone spotted out. And actually the spike hanging back at the moment. I think They're drawing out a lot of abilities. Is this going to be a simple feint away and reposition, or will they just try and force it effectively like a jackhammer through onto A site? It does look like it's going to be a little bit more precisely done.
Yeah, and I mean, Dreamchasers is not really getting any information. You can see Rocket Launcher playing very passively over towards C-Link. And the push now going to come through to A. Mixwell in the tailwind all the way in. He's going to find one, but actually 2 responses coming through, but the trades go in favor of G2. And now Rocket Launcher finds himself in a 1v3 situation. Spike will go down here. He's got a little gap in the wall, but...
Is he going to shroud his step over? That's a risky shrouded step.
It's bold. It's a bold move.
Yeah, well, it's more that you have that delay, right? The slight delay. I think he's just going to look to try and get an exit here, if anything. I don't think he's looking to take it in a 1v3. Dark cover, just reposition, and he will just fade away from this one. 3-3 then. G2, no, they've got a game on their hands here. It doesn't look like it's going to be quite as clean, but then again, I say that it kind of started this way in Ascent as well. And as you said at the start of Ascent, you know, while it was showing 4-1, I think at the time, it was much closer rounds. It could have gone a different way, but once G2 got the foot down, they didn't really look back. Dreamchasers, though, on the defensive side, they got to try their best to take it to 5 or 6 rounds and then see what they've got on attack.
Yeah, and I mean, we talk about momentum in Valorant, and G2's one of those teams that, you know, once they get rolling, they just start oozing confidence. They start just taking gunfights wherever they can.
The style plays.
Exactly, and this is a team that, I mean, I can confidently say G2 is one of the few rosters that you can look at them and just say, yeah, every single one of those players, you can see them consistently winning 1v1s.
We're gonna see
they can absolutely do it if they want to.
We're going to see that as well. I can see Emilio going once again versus Pit down long. Rocket Launcher's holding the angle. Oh, he's actually took it in the corner. Surprised they didn't both wall back. As soon as AORUS started, I'm surprised Rocket Launcher didn't join in. They could have probably tagged quite a bit more damage down on the window there, play there, but our drone comes through. It instantly blocked out by the wall, and actually some aggression coming out from A long.
Yeah, and now that we've got a player tucked all the way up by Sandbag, that's going to buy him a little bit of a space here. I'm not sure why Emilio's still watching it, though.
Quick camera. Yeah, he put the camera down instantly.
Yeah.
I think he got it shot away. I don't know whether Pit shot it or he just recovered it. But it is going to be, looks like an A rotation.
And that's the thing. Now they're going to peel back a little bit. They're going to give up some of the garden and lobby control. But Emilio might find one on the way in there. Pat swinging a little bit too wide on that. And G2 looking like they might force the issue over on A site here.
Oh, it's going on to long.
And
he's in the wrong
spot.
He's in the wrong position there, and that's going to really cause a problem. But now he can turn it around. He's got the support, don't forget, of Turt's just tucked in the corner, and he manages to get a double down with the Spectre. Pressured for weapons, but he manages to find himself one, and that was a flawless defensive hold.
Yeah, really good pinch actually in the end there. The rotation from Aaron coming at just the right time, just so there's no casualties on the side of Dreamchasers. And I mean, we didn't really see... I mean, there were signs of life on Ascent, but we didn't really see Dreamchasers take control of any of the rounds, I feel. Obviously, the rounds where they did get the spike down on attack, things fell apart in the post-plant because G2 just looked so disciplined with how they retake. But this is good stuff so far, Lee.
The team that can take down Noel Penke has a little bit of respect from me.
Absolutely.
They've been really stepping it up lately, Noel Penke, but manages to get swept aside by the Dreamchasers, and kind of expected them to bring a little something. Was obviously disappointed with their Ascent play, but it does look like they've brought a little something else here. Mixwell very close to getting the boom bite in his face. He's actually dashed in, not too sure about that tailwind, but it will catch Rocket Launcher by surprise. King Cobra still stuck in the corner, but he's about to get rushed down. And now Aaron and King Cobra forced to back away from this one, as the spike will go down on C site.
Yeah, and that wall actually could allow David to plant tucked away all the way in the corner and get the revive onto Mixwell as well. Mixwell pops the Blade Storm. David P finds King Cobra through the dark cover. And that, actually Aaron finding a response initially, but again, they need to make some ground onto the side.
The backstab from Pit coming in behind Aaron. Emilio's trying to do what he can, but he's going to get the res off, and Pitt is there the second he comes back to his feet, and that's a resurrect wasted. Really nice backstab there from Pitt to make it work out. They know exactly where the final man Emilio is. He's got that operator, so he wants to dash away, and they're going to try and chase him down.
Yeah, and that was a convincing hold from G2. I mean, they gave away a couple of kills, but like I said, Dreamchasers just needed to make some ground up and get closer to the site there. Again, investing the revive. It's a fantastic lurk from Pitt. Again, really, really well timed. That's what you want your Cypher to do. You want him to be in that lurking role, coming in and just being a nuisance.
So first quarterfinal complete. It's Bonk that have gone through 13-6 in their final match. So they're going to take it 2-0. And looks like BBL also gone 2-0 as well. That's impressive against TBD. TBD looked good yesterday. Obviously took down Fabric and Amfish 1-2-3.
Yeah.
Clearly weren't quite a measure of BBL, who, it's surprising me, BBL didn't perform very well last week when I covered them. I was expecting big things from them and they kind of failed to deliver, but it does look like they are turning up here in the mandatory GG Ignition series. And now the spike is planted on the B site.
Yeah, a bit of a default execute. Got two players from G2 back, and actually Dreamchasers reading this perfectly. They're going to try and actually shut down that window presence. They're going to find both players. Exactly Mixwell has to swing out C-Link side. Neural Theft gets popped, so they know that all three are on the site now. King Cobra bursts out with a showstopper. Gets shut down by Mixwell in response, but now a 2v2 situation. The Dreamchasers don't have a lot of time left here.
1v1. Mixwell at the back. The spike, yeah, he's run out of time. Has to try and draw it out. Here's the tailwind. Can find it. Has he got time? No, he doesn't. And it will be G2 that will take the round. But they lost everyone in the process. And Artez's going to lose his weapon as well, right on the edge. I think he stopped to turn around for some reason. He'd have been clear.
Just jump away.
I need this.
So it does mean, of course, it is going to be economy for the Dreamchasers. Broken. Although, that said, with G2 losing all their members, it's not great for them. Still Spectre and a Bulldog in there, but I guess once you're up against pistols, that's actually perfectly fine, because there's not really going to be any armor stacked in there either. So it is going to be a stack and a push through B, see if they can net themselves and steal a weapon away, and that's what they're going to do. King Cobra with the paint shells works out for him and nets himself the first hit.
Yeah, and that's the second time David P's been caught down on the boxes there, but again, this is the second time G2 have read it perfectly. The mid push comes through, they take C site for free. And this time the spike is in the hands of AORUS, so it's going to go down this time. And actually, again, the trades actually come back in favor of Dreamchasers. That's really surprising.
Pitt's miles away. Pitt's miles away. They haven't actually stuck the defuse because they don't know where he is. They're still looking for that last man. Wait, is he sticking it? I think he's sticking it. I think the Omen is sticking it. No, he isn't. Okay, rocket launcher's just the other side of it at the moment. Oh, he didn't even get planted. What am I on about? I'm sat there thinking,
I looked at it on the minimap and I was like, yeah, they got the spike down.
Yeah, I just assumed they had because they were in on site so long. Wasn't even looking at the big red marker. Oh, well, that leaves Pitt in all sorts of trouble. He's going to go around the world and try and come from the spawn site and see what he can do from there. This is a thrifty round from the Dreamchasers.
Yeah, and again, that was on the back of G2's reaction to the mid push. They did exactly the same thing in the other round we saw this happen. Pitt's got to get a weapon out. Okay. Oh, no.
That's a bit... I mean, you just kind of got dumpstered on Ascent, and then you're going to... I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that.
Previous map, and you had 5 and 5. I'm not sure it's time to break out the teabag.
That's a little early for that, but okay. Okay, you know.
I'll let it slide.
Bit of style. We were talking about we like to see some of the banter coming out from AORUS. It's only fair that, you know, they give it back. So 5-5, looking like a decent defensive half so far for the Dreamchasers. Let's see if they're going to read into this. It's going to be aggression on short. They're going to push straight up, and look at that. Pitt's out of the hold in the angle. Actually, nearly got a second as Emilio. Well, not going to be teabagging this time. Forced to back away. Mixwell dashes in, gets caught by the trap, and then gunned down by Emilio. So the tailwind actually backfiring. But look at this, a shrouded step from the backside. Patitech is above. They did hear him though, and Emilio catches him off guard. But Pitt once again in on site.
And now actually an impressive hold coming out from Dreamchasers here. It's just going to be David P left, and that's going to be Dreamchasers putting the 6th round on the board. I mean, this has not gone the way I would have expected it to. G2 have always looked very slick on attack on Haven, and I don't feel as if they're really getting anything going here. And it's, I mean, King Cobra's putting up a performance himself, but I'm not going to say it feels like G2 are just getting outplayed. I don't feel like G2 are playing their usual game here.
We'll see how they do when they switch to defense. 6-5 though. It's just about what Dreamchasers could hope for. Remember, they didn't even win the pistol, so to bring it back to this close is very impressive. Oh, rocket launcher. You're looking at a recon bolt when you should be looking down long because it's all coming your way. Tailwind comes out. Hunter's Fury straight through. And the Blade Storm from Mixwell will do the job. They have the site taken. Yes, they're on eco, but they've managed to collect some weapons here.
Yeah, fantastic. Again, there's nothing you can do there. The Owl Drone tag comes in after the recon dart as well. Mixwell doing his job there with the Blade Storm, but 2 will fall from G2. We're bringing it to a 3v3 now. Spike is obviously down, and David P and Pitt looking to get a little bit of aggression through here. Actually going to come out with the res. The timing is terrible for it. Neural Theft gets popped, but he's in a 1v3 situation, and there you go. The trade comes through. I mean, good round from G2 there, and again, last round they can throw everything at it, see what sticks, and they bring it to a tie game in the first half. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's not what I was expecting, Lee.
Well, they quickened up the pace in the final one, and obviously the use of the 2 ultis combo really collected them everything they need. Connor caught Dreamchasers off guard there with the speed and the ferocity of the attack straight on C. Now, of course, it is the turn of Dreamchasers on the attack. What can they bring to the table? And they've managed to tie up the game on the defense. Of course, don't forget they are 1 map down as well. So it's all on them to deal and deliver something here. And look at G2's setup. Looking like it's going to be a little aggression on short here that may actually be met. It's going to be David P that's up close and personal. We're along with Ardis, and it's going to be David P with a shorty that will come out on top.
And now you see him pull all the way back to A side. They've done their job now. We've got the man advantage, and Dreamchasers is actually going to try and walk it up mid towards B. There is a trap wire there, so the information is going to go over to G2 as soon as that gets popped. And you can see on the minimap now, everybody rotating now. And actually, Dreamchasers is going to take control of A link here. David P going to have himself a bit of an issue over by the archway coming in. Ardis going to pull all the way down to A long. So they're just going to give this up and play retake here.
And no utility available. That Ardis' position given away. Shock Dart will come through, and he's going to get pressured and actually taken down by Ter. Does a really good job of pushing through, but that puts 3 of them down long. I think they were expecting the wraparound, so it does free up a little bit of space for Mixwell to creep on into sight. Pitt's actually got himself the cage strip down, and now with them pushing down short, they're kind of locked out of their own spike plant here. They're going to push on through the cage trap. That's going to give the information for Patitech. And now they're all going to push straight up short, and that's just gone horribly wrong for them. I don't understand the triple push down long there. I guess they expected, because they saw Ardis there, they just thought there was a backstab coming, which is why they tried to meet it with force.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. That was a huge investment to just give up site control. I mean, G2 are kind of positioned really well for that. Having Ardis down on A long would have been perfect to kind of pinch and take control. Even in post fight, you can give up the spike plant at that point, but a bit overzealous to I guess overread that. I think you're right. They must have expected somebody else was going to swing from long.
Quick push through, and well, caught him off guard there. The judge from David P was what we saw coming through the door. The surprise visitor, and a quick eco bash pays off. A very quick eco bash there at double doors. Is he going to carry the judge through? Yes, he will. Mixwell was with the ghost as well. That's why he gets the operator straight back in his hand. Emilio is going to have to go on the Phantoms. And Mixwell's looking to go aggressive with the op down long. Not too surprising.
No. But again, we see G2 do this a lot on Haven. They swing for that early information on A long. If they get the pick or they see the pushes coming through there, they reposition accordingly. And David P going to tuck himself into a corner in sewer. And he might find a couple of freebies.
Oh!
And he will.
I mean, you hate to see it, right?
You do. You hate and love to see it.
A quick pump, and job done. It does open up a little bit of B site, which is where they're trying to work the spike plant into, but unfortunately for them, they do have pits up ready and waiting for them. Just the other side of the wall. Now 3 members of G2 have all arrived to support. Everybody starts to funnel in. There's going to be a little Omen duel as well over on A short. While the dance of B looks to continue. I don't think Aaron's going to be able to pick much out of this. Okay. Is Pat going to try and push any more? He's just staying. And he's going to catch them as well. They're going to push around onto short straight to him.
Yeah, nobody ever...
Okay, no. Well, maybe not. Dark cover going down. That may well just give them pause for thought. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
All right. They got him down, but now they're pushing in. Look at this. The 4-man rotate comes through. There's the dark cover, but it doesn't matter because David P's already through on it. He's going to have weapon waiting. Here's the money on site. Gets around the side. Going to get the one. Artist gets the other. Clean take in the end with just one down. And that's problematic for Dreamchasers. The first big rifle round answered comprehensively by G2.
Yeah. Again, on the back of just that heavy stack towards A, and they get... I mean, yes, they get value from it, and it just so happens David P picks up 2 kills, not just the 1. But like I said, we see G2 make plays like that time and time again, rotating the Cypher out. The Cypher puts all of his utility over on B, so they can afford to invest that presence over towards A, and they make the absolute most of it. He's actually... Well, yeah, Teh is actually lucky not to lose his life there because that cage flew right the way through the doorway instead of blocking sight lines.
It's going to be Nico rushing to see through double doors by the looks of it. They did manage to get the one down. Artist is still stuck on site though, and he's going to be the one that's pressured from Link here. Teh's been found. That was the backside play. David's actually caught rocket launcher as well. He pushed down from window, got around the backside of him. King Cobra will answer it in the end from the window himself, but they're going to have to try and collect the weapons here. You can see Emilio's managed to find himself one in a 3-on-2. Still just delicately going back so they can get King Cobra the weapon. And then they'll decide where they're going to go. 50 seconds. Where would you go here? I mean, we can see the map, obviously. It makes it a little easier to decide.
I would go A. But it looks like they're going to challenge Artist down on C long. Artist still actually got his owl drone here, and with 30 seconds left, that's yeah, some good utility to still have available. He's going to get the info that nobody's down garage. He should swing back and check long here. Hopefully doesn't lose. Yeah, King Cobra just not expecting somebody to swing there. Emilio good for the trade.
Well, Mixwell's already in though.
Yeah.
Sees the spike plant. Should be an easy kill, and it will. Emilio goes down and the defuse comes in, but you know what? It got expensive. It was just a pistol. They got the plant. It was a good round for Dreamchasers, despite the fact they find themselves at that deadly 10th round, 10-6.
Yeah, I mean, already looking, I guess, much better setup for G2 on defense, and whether or not we could say that's just Dreamchasers can't really get anything going. They don't really have an answer to this early round aggression, and like I said, G2 are getting value of it, whether it be information or kills itself. And we see them do it time and time again. Again, we see this here. Pit all the way over in garage. He's got his utility set up between B. I love this. I love the rotation coming out here, and it gives them the opportunity to stack like this, Lee.
Looking for something. We were talking about the first bloods and how G2 do tend to find them, and once again they go aggressive. Artist is the man that finds it. The second peek goes straight into Mixwell. He's trying to hold the angle actually with the operator, but Mixwell just quickly jiggle peeks in there, and now he's just going to try and play with the cloud burst and manages to find Emilio. And well,
of my way.
You know, sometimes you... Oh, that's cheeky. Just a quick draft to have a look, see if there's any more. But the Bladestorm running, he wants to go for this, doesn't he? He wants to go for it. He's going to try and rush them down. Pat's going to go and push them back as well. Mixwell's feeling a bit of style, I reckon. Oh, they're double peeking it now. That's 3. And, oh, Peter. Mixwell's like, no, mine.
But again,
flawless.
This is what I mean, though. There's no way you expect the third player to swing from that.
Yeah.
Once you see the information on the first 2 defenders there, it's like, wait, what the hell is... What is Mixwell doing here with an operator as well? And that's what I mean. Just that small change. Pitt goes and puts his utility elsewhere. They can stack 3 there. They get the early enough information that it's going to be another site. Lots of teams play retake on B here anyway. I love the setup. I love the diversity to the way they're defending Haven right now.
Now, Mixwell obviously over to B, looking for that peek in window. Doesn't net him anything. Switches over to double doors to see if he can get anything that way. Just repositioning. Keep the defensive team pushing. Showstopper coming through. King Cobra will trade. Actually, tell a lie, he didn't get taken down. He managed to get in sight. I thought Mixwell would have took him down there. Instead, he's just tucked in the corner on 15 hit points, starting the cloudburst, and, well, Rocket Launcher's going to find him. The pistol's making it work right now as Ardis tries to palm in. Nora Theft goes down, gets spotted out. King Cobra with the Sheriff to the dome. And now the spike plant going down, and this is such an important round to flip on its head here for Dreamchasers. A real nice thrifty in the end there, just losing the 1. And the present's not paying off this time for G2.
No. Interesting the way that one played out. And, I mean, again, it's not going to make that much difference in the grand scheme of things. G2 able to fall back into this one. They've probably still got, I would say, 2 or 3 rounds to play with in terms of money, and they're on 11 rounds. So, but yeah, they were sloppy from G2. Losing a couple of gunfights to pistols is never nice to see, but hopefully they bounce right back from it.
Trying to go aggressive down. C long, A long, everybody peeking, seeing what they can get. So default play. King Cobra's tucked up nicely, but he's going to get spotted out by the owl drone in a second. And that's just going to draw the utility out from there. So see if they can find any initial openings. And once again, it's a first blood for G2 as they peek on round, and Pat gets himself a second and a third. Headshots all day long. And this is not what Dreamchasers had in mind after just picking up that thrifty. Pat gets the 4th. He won't be able to get the ace because unfortunately it's going to be going to Ardis. But it was a solid, flawless round from G2. The C
clean
defenders
plays.
Clean, yeah.
And now they're on match point, Lee. And I mean, this one's drawn out a bit longer than I expected. And that, again, that's heavily based on the way Ascent went, and you could argue that is the write-off map of the map pool right now. There's teams that haven't got an awful lot of reps on it, G2 being one that has a lot of reps on Ascent. But yeah, this looks like it's all but okay, Mixwell. Nicely timed. Finds Aaron through the cyber cage. And that'll be first blood going over to G2. And already David P pushing his way through window. G2 want this one over with. Mixwell lands his second operator shot of the round, and David P's already through garden here, Lee.
Oh, he went peeking straight into Emilio though, and now he gets his updraft back across there. Little from the shadows up into heaven there gives him the information that there is one there, but there is a wraparound coming. Pat's going to come from behind, but they're going to be in on site, so the spike plant will go down. It's going to be a passive sit and retake. Oh, the Hunter's Fury from Ardis.
Oh my word.
Wiped out the spike planter and a second next to him. Oh, lordy.
Okay. There's something big I need to actually mention there, as the round does go in favor of G2, but Ardis actually with a fantastic setup. The shock dart comes over, lands on defaultly, and he instantly follows up with the Hunter's Fury. So the shock dart obviously doing the initial damage, and he picks up 2 for 1 there. The Hunter's Fury ends up killing 1, and the shock dart as well doing the additional damage. That was actually insane there to stop the spike going down.
Absolutely lovely to watch. I mean, we saw it yesterday, right, with the Hunter's Fury, the B plant spike, and he's sighting in A site, and then Hunter's Fury straight through onto them. So some nice players coming out. So G2 will go through semi-finals booked for them, and they're going to be playing BBL, I believe, as they've moved through to the semi-finals. There is still a couple of games going on. Bonk have gone through 2-0, and I do believe we're going to try to jump into NIP. I'm not too sure if we're going to be able to. It's going to be a map 3 by the looks of it, because I think those guys are taking them to a map 3.
Yeah.
We'll see if it goes into game 3 or not. We're just waiting to see whether it's even possible. Producers tracking everyone down to see if that's even a thing. But you know what? G2 were pressured a little bit there. A 6-6 on the attack. I think, you know, a better setup from a slightly better defensive side. A slightly better attacking side for Dreamchasers. They could have took that to a third map.
They could have, yeah. I don't want to say G2 stumbling, more so I'd say Dreamchasers actually making him work for it, to be honest with you. A couple of rounds where Dreamchasers kind of pulled something from nothing. I feel like they won 2 or 3 thrifty rounds, Lee.
But G2 got, I mean, it was like a couple, right? Both of them, Dreamchasers got about 2 or 3, and I think G2 got about 2 as well. So a bit of back and forth.
Yeah. Again, the series goes as expected. I'm going to be honest. I had this pegged as a 2-0. I think anybody betting against G2 hasn't watched an awful lot of European Valorant recently, but it's good to see him in this sort of form again. I talked about David P already kind of stepping up and doing what we love to see David P do. It's fantastic to obviously see him as a confirmed 5th member of the roster now. And I mean, this is the G2 we've seen win previous events, right? They look very clinical. They look well poised. I can see they've been working a little bit around the playbook in terms of executions, and that's fantastic to see as well, because not to harp on, but the thing we keep coming back to with G2 is how quickly they're going to have to switch things up from, you know, individual players popping off and winning 1v1s.
Well, okay. It does look like we're going to try and jump across. So it looks like NIP have managed to go to well, they haven't. Those guys have managed to go to a map 3. So it does mean we can go to a break. And when we come back, we're going to be jumping on to that 3rd map of the final quarterfinal that's out there. Everybody else has booked their place in the semi-final, so everybody else was 2-0. We'll jump across as quick as we can. So see you after the break, ladies and gentlemen, for the 3rd map of NIP versus those guys.
AORUS gaming monitors. Get tactical.